5 signs he likes you but is too afraid to say it. Have you ever met a guy who seems really interested in you, but somehow you still can't figure out what he actually wants? He texts you. He remembers little things you told him. He asks how your day went. Sometimes, he looks at you in a way that makes you wonder if there's something more behind it. But then, nothing happens. No confession. No clear answer. No obvious move. And now you're stuck wondering, does he actually like me? Is he just being friendly? Or am I reading too much into everything? If you've ever been in that situation, you're definitely not alone. Because attraction isn't always obvious. Not every man is going to walk up to you and say, "I like you." Some men are naturally confident and direct, but others are more cautious. They might be afraid of rejection. They might be unsure about how you feel. They might have been hurt in a previous relationship. Or maybe they're simply the kind of person who needs time before they feel comfortable expressing their emotions. So instead of saying how they feel, they may start showing it through small behaviors. And those little behaviors can sometimes tell you more than a big romantic gesture. But before we get into the signs, let's make one thing very clear. None of these behaviors can prove that someone is romantically interested in you. People are different. Some people are naturally kind. Some are naturally attentive. And some people are just good friends. So don't take one small action and immediately decide that a man is secretly in love with you. What matters is the pattern. What does he consistently do? How does he treat you over time? And do his actions match the way he talks to you? Because when someone genuinely wants to become closer to you, there is usually a pattern of attention, effort, curiosity, and connection. So let's talk about the first sign. Number 1, he remembers the little things. This sounds simple, but honestly, this is one of those things that can be surprisingly meaningful. Think about a normal conversation you had with him. Maybe you casually told him that you love vanilla iced coffee. Maybe you mentioned that your sister was visiting from another state. Maybe you told him that you had an important interview coming up. Or maybe you mentioned, just once, that you've always wanted to visit Italy. It wasn't some huge announcement. You probably didn't even expect him to remember. But then, a week later, he brings it up. He says, "Hey, didn't you say your sister was coming this weekend?" Or maybe he walks into a coffee. He remembers the little things. He actually listens when you talk. He finds small reasons to stay connected. And he makes an effort to be there for you. But now we're getting to the 5th sign. And honestly, this one can be easy to miss. Because when a man starts becoming genuinely comfortable with you, something interesting can happen. He doesn't just want to know about your life. He starts letting you into his. Number 5, he slowly lets you into his world. Think about the difference between small talk and a real conversation. At the beginning, you might talk about simple things. Work, music, movies, restaurants, weekend plans. Maybe you talk about where you grew up. Nothing too personal. Nothing too deep. But as two people become more comfortable with each other, the conversations can start changing. He might tell you stories from his childhood. He might talk about his family. He might tell you about a difficult experience he's never really talked about. Maybe he tells you about a goal he's been working toward. Maybe he admits that he's nervous about something. Maybe he tells you about a mistake he made years ago. And suddenly, you're seeing a side of him that isn't available to everyone. Now, that doesn't automatically mean he's romantically interested. Some people are naturally open. Some people talk about everything with everyone. But if he's normally private and he gradually becomes more open specifically with you, that can be meaningful. Because opening up requires trust. And trust. T is an important part of emotional closeness. Imagine a guy who usually keeps everything to himself. At work, he's confident. Around his friends, he's funny. He seems like the kind of person who always has everything under control. But when he's talking to you, he becomes different. He tells you about his worries. He tells you about his family. He talks about things that actually matter to him. Maybe he even says something like, "I don't usually tell people this." That sentence alone doesn't prove anything. but it tells you that he's comfortable enough to let you see something more personal. And that can be important, because people don't always show vulnerability to everyone. Sometimes, they choose one person they trust. And over time, that trust can become emotional intimacy. There's another part of this sign that's worth paying attention to. Does he start introducing you to the things that matter to him? Maybe he sends you his favorite song. Maybe he tells you a